Dave's first night. No, wait, night gallery. I'm like, what the? I already messed it up, Dave. Hello, everybody.
Run the intro.
Okay, here we go.
Is it just me?
Hey, everybody. I'm Dino. That's Dave. And he never heard the term pierogi before you changed it.
I did it during the break. Yes, I did.
I was talking pierogies.
Oh, we had Thanksgiving talk during the break.
Yeah, we were talking food as usual. And then
Man.
pierogies came up, and Dave had no idea what a pierogi is. And thus, there you go. Pierogies are so good. Oh, anyways, hello everybody. Welcome to Late Horror Show. I'm Dino. That is Dave. Be sure to check out the link below. Although I don't think there's a link in this one. I think I did.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm concerned about Mr. Ed though. His comment, crap, not again. Every Sunday.
What happened?
He just says crap, not again.
Oh, every Sunday?
I'm sure it has something to do with something else, but I was thinking, we're here every Sunday.
Anyways, we are going to talk. This is Dave's first night gallery episode he's ever watched.
It is.
So we are going to talk about that to start off. But in the meantime, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Me and Dave will be tackling night gallery from now on. It's been a while since we're up to season 2, episode 4. So here we go. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat. Hello, Kathy. Lizzie, what's going on? Harry Scott, Hi Boy Donuts to you. Edward Stewart. Connie Clary, Brian Lance Grimm, Black Roses, Bob. Who else is here? Andrea, Raj Ram. What is going on? Good to see you, Nathan. Good to see everybody. Mr. Ed, Overkill with an O. Let me move on up. Who else is here? Hey, WTF? What happened? Is your channel still around, or you just changed? That old Outer Limits fan. Good to see you. Hopefully the channel's all right. You had some funny content up there, some good content. And Shay, get ready for the show. It will be starting in 3, 2, never. J.O.B. What is going on? JLR, Kathy Evans, good to see you guys. No, I keep getting blocked from the beginning of the show. Yeah, that's weird, Mr. Ed. Not sure what's going on there. There will be a stream tonight, an overnight stream, but just to clarify, so nobody has to be notified or anything in the future here. If I don't do a stream, one night, I told you guys I will be cutting back because my sanity and my mental health just can't take it no more. And I want to do other things, but we will still do, as many. If I feel like doing a stream that night, I'll do a stream. But last night there wasn't a stream, or the night before. Tonight there is. Tomorrow there probably won't be. But yeah, much love to each and every one of you. Anyways, who else came in here?
Did you say hello to Kathy?
Yes, I did say hello to Kathy.
All right. I always love her icon. So
yes, 1920s, love it. Or early teens. I mean, early part of last century, right? Love that look. I'm an old soul. What can I say? Dave likes it too. So there you go. What stream do we have tonight? Mystery Detective Horror. Listen, tonight's stream, I love these surprises, and I love that, people don't know what they're going to listen to next, but it's a mix of some, not your typical detective, but detective criminal elements to the series. A little bit crazy, some of the series are. Peter Lorre's in 2 of them. They're not horror, but they happen to be episodes of some craziness in there. So yeah, you don't know what you're going to get, but it's going to be good. Kathy Capra, what's going on? Good to see you. Sweet Indigo, what is going on? Good to see you. Fluff Chick Productions throwing out a $2 super chat there. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sweet says, I am working right now, so I can't respond, but I am listening. Good. Anyways, let's start going, Dave. I think we got everything in there. We got a couple weeks coming up here that are going to be fantastic. But Dave, you've never seen Night Gallery. You know all about Twilight Zone, Rod Serling. What did you think of it?
Well, hold on just a moment.
Slow down, Dino.
I know.
Dave, it's your turn to talk. Anything you want. Anything's
Thank
on
you.
the
It's
table.
only 5:06 now. But no, seriously. Like before you start to say hello to everyone, you start to do this little theme song that I'm worried we're going to get blocked because of it. It's like bum 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 bum. I'm sure that's a theme to something. I just don't know what it is.
What is it? Do that again?
Before you, what you do is you start to scroll down and say hello to everybody. And
Oh,
subconsciously go bum 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 bum
I
bum.
do. Okay.
And that is a theme to a commercial. I can't remember what it is offhand, but next time I will bring that up.
I didn't even notice I did that. That's one of
Yeah.
those little perks, or not perks. Yeah,
Perks.
it's a perk.
It's an extra, people.
It's a quirk, a
All
little quirk that somebody does. Yeah, I don't know. Like the Honeymooners, Ralph Cramden and Ed Norton. Every time Ed Norton was playing Ralph a song because he was on a quiz show and he wanted to know every song ever written. So Ed Norton would play the piano, and every time he would start to play the piano, he would do this little thing, you know, and it was an intro to a song that Ralph got wrong. Anyways,
We actually had a substitute teacher who was kind of a lot of fun. He was an extra in a lot of films,
uh-huh.
and this is like maybe junior high. He would come in and like take over the science class or whatever when the teacher was absent. And he was on some game show where it's like, I can name that song in 7 notes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can name that song in 6 notes.
Name that tune.
Yes. And so he won Name That Tune. And he had a little brochure that he would carry around and he would show people, this is me.
Nice, nice. And yes, Raj Ram, Dino, thank you for streaming in 1080p. Listen, I stream as high as possible. I've got 4K going, but Restream only picks up at like 1080, 1920, 1080, something like that. So, and it's good enough. So let's get to it. That was a great Honeymooners episode. Yes, the twist at the end. Love the Honeymooners. Okay, Dave.
All right. So my first time watching Night Gallery, got a little bit of what to expect from Dino, you know, just like, hey, there's gonna be some longer episodes and some shorter episodes. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
On a scale from 1 to 10, it was about an 8+. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Right.
It was I did like certain episodes more than others. I really liked the choices of guest stars. This just happened to be some of my favorite people, from Patrick O'Neill to Pat Boone and Wally Cox, although we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
You know, but it was really, really fun, and I'm looking forward to doing season 2, episode 5.
Yes, and I was telling Dave that he happened to come in at season 2, episode 4, and everything he just said right there, Dave, the past ones, first season alone, there are even bigger names and even better episodes. Like this, I told Dave, this is kind of the slowest paced episode of all of the ones I've seen already and done. And it's still fantastic. So Night Gallery up there, you know, it's a Rod Serling production. He didn't write everything, you know, he had a role, you know, to play in everything, but this isn't Twilight Zone. This is totally different. It's kind of a horror show.
And it's in color.
Yes, in color. And what is so cool about this, I love the they always throw in a couple like 2-minute segments, you know, and we're going to get to Junior here after the first one, but Junior was so good. Anyways, let's start her off. We can go anywhere you want. We're going to talk about A Fear of Spiders.
A Fear of Spiders is the first one we're going to do, and I am a huge fan of Patrick O'Neill. Yes. I like the opening of Night Gallery, the square kind of pictures. I guess, does everyone deal with paintings? Is that it?
Yes. There's a painting. Yeah, there's a painting for each episode or segment, for each segment.
Well, as the opening went, I saw a Picasso painting go by. I'm like, I can ID that painting.
There you go. Yeah.
It opens up, and Rod Serling's starting to talk, and he's in this kind of cool corner, and there's a couple paintings on either side, and he's all, this painting leads off our first episode. It's the 1970s, definitely 1970s in terms of decor and shag carpeting. You could have lost a foot in that shag carpeting. It was.
And the colors, and Dave, the typewriter. Talk about the typewriter.
Oh, I don't know if I want to do that.
Okay.
I did want to mention the
It was a
shooting.
bit like Liberace. I thought it was his typewriter, but
That is what I wrote down. Liberace.
Liberace
Because
typewriter.
that's true what it was. But before we go there, as far as the camera angle goes.
Yeah.
So, we're kind of up above, and I didn't necessarily like that, but it was kind of new and different. Patrick O'Neill is typing. I wrote down that it looked like Liberace from the ostentatious phone to the typewriter. It had a little cover over it with swirls and gold and things like that.
Yes, it was very odd. I don't think I've ever seen the decor look that way for a typewriter and the phone. And they both looked exactly the same with like gold, what would you call that? Gold plated, or there's some weird design on it. I don't know. It's really, and hopefully your speed picks up, Dave, because you're like going slow. You can pop out if you want.
It looks like it, at least on my side now, it caught up.
Okay, good. But yes, I love the whole premise is he's sitting there and they open up with him sitting. Justice Walters is sitting. He's a writer, and he's sitting at the typewriter, and somebody hollers at him, and it's a woman that lives upstairs. It's Elizabeth Croft is her name.
Well,
and
first of all,
go ahead.
The phone rings, and he's all like, Elizabeth.
And that's when he looks up, and the angle is looking up at her apartment because she lives upstairs.
And I didn't know that at first. It was just kind of, I thought he was in maybe a big mansion and that he was calling for the help or the housekeeper, where it was like, they'll get the phone.
You thought it was a Calgon take me away moment, is what you thought. Calgon, take me away, from above,
Ancient Chinese secret.
Yes, Calgon. But yes, no, it's this woman Elizabeth, and I guess he kind of led her on to think that he liked her, and all of a sudden she became this like infatuated stalker who lives above him, and not stalker, she lives above him, so that's not really stalking. She won't leave him alone. She's like, I love it. And he treats her like crap.
He does.
Until the spider comes along, Dave.
And sat down beside her, right? Oh my goodness. But he has this conversation with her at the door because she's knocking. Let's go out again and stuff. And we find out later that he had asked her to dinner a couple times to be neighborly, but she is way in love with him and his writing and all of that. And it was almost kind of like a Kathy Bates moment. Oh yeah. Very obsessed with this writer. And he's all, I just need you to go away. And it at first didn't seem too awful, but then he starts getting, his comment is, I don't want to be cruel, just blunt, which is what I had kind of up above before on my name. And he just starts becoming really, really rude to her.
Yes. Well, because she's constantly coming down, knocking on her door. Please let me in. Yeah. Why at one point she almost reminded me of Betty Davis and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, where she's she's just sitting there all pouty and pissed of what she used to be, and she's kind of talking that way. And I don't think I said hi to Lizzie Armstrong. Hey, Lizzie. Hopefully I don't know if I said hi or not, but hey, Lizzie. Oh, there you go.
There it is.
But and I'm glad you wrote down the line. I don't know how many lines he said. There were some pretty good lines in here by him and by her on both sides. Good dialogue written. And but yeah, he sends her off, and I love the next part when he goes back to typing, but he hears a drip.
He does. He gets up and goes into his kitchen. We almost think it's a bar or a saloon from the Old West because he's got two swinging doors.
Love them swinging doors.
He walks in and there's a drip from the faucet.
And we're not talking about a guy in the corner just standing there, a drip.
Correct.
Okay. Anyways, that was dumb. That's a dad joke. Go on. There's a dip in the road, and as you're driving by, there's some guy over there going, "Hey, hello there, what's going on? I'm a dip." Okay. Anyways.
Well, and I want to say too, before he shuts the door on Elizabeth, she curses him. She goes, "I hope one day that you're going to need help, and no one's going to be there to help you, and screw you." And even like after he closes the door, you hear a boom, and she had fallen on the steps, or maybe
to trick him to come out and pick her up.
Yeah, and
because she was very. I'm sorry, because she was. I don't want to state enough how like overboard she's going. Like she's telling him, "You've destroyed me. You're destroying me. Do you not know you're destroying me? Why are you doing this to me? All I want to do is care for you. You know how much I care for you, right? Why are you doing this?" Well, because I don't like you. I mean, it's just it's that kind of thing, and it's
it was that blunt.
Yeah. It's
but it was also, it was also kind of a little freakish stalking. Like, you should have probably gotten a hand.
Oh yeah. No, she's well, you know what? I mean, it takes a turn here when he goes up there. But anyways, there's the drip going on, and boy, he goes over to that. And who doesn't ever? You remember back in the day? I don't think I've ever heard a drip in over 30 years. But when I was a kid, I remember hearing drips and faucets and stuff. Bad washers, right?
Well, yes, bad washers is primarily, and we have that a lot here in California, by the way.
But what was this? Because it seemed like some weird paranormal type thing going on, or
not
nightmare.
really. I just thought that was like the curse beginning. Like, we're going to find out Elizabeth is a witch. And
maybe it was. Well, yeah, I think
it's going to be things like, the drip is going to keep him from typing. And then you hear a clock. The clock is going to keep him from typing. And then the handyman or the janitor shows up. And that prevents him from his work.
Oh, but when you get in molecular arts, I had a girlfriend like that once. Not fun. Oh, I bet not. But there's a couple times he hears the drip first. And it's just, he goes in there and he goes to push it down. And he sees a spider come up out of the drain. Are you do you have a fear of spiders? Arachnophobia?
No, it helps me, with the women because I can kill them for them.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
And they're all, thank you so much.
Really? Lots of women you went and had to kill spiders for?
A lot of my students, yeah. If they see a spider in the hallway and they're, "Oh my God, there's a spider." There you go.
Oh. Yeah. Lots of dates from that, huh? Oh, wow.
Not with my students, no.
No. I mean, the ladies at the fancy restaurants you attend.
And the bingo parlors. Yes.
Dave loves the bingo parlors. That's all I'll say.
Hey, man, they have good prizes.
Do they really? I don't know. One day, maybe, when I have time on my hand, maybe I'll do a bingo.
Remember that Roseanne episode where she had all her good luck charms?
Let's not talk about Roseanne. Nick, what is going on, Nick? Good to see you. But it's a tiny spider, and it's a furry spider. So I'm trying to think, what kind of spider is that? Because it did look real. It was a tiny one.
It was, and actually a very West Coast spider as well.
Could be. Okay.
We have a lot of these that are fairly small. They look maybe a little dangerous, but they're not. They're just more annoying than anything else.
Yeah. Over here in my neck of the woods in Ohio here, we have something called wolf spiders.
Ew.
Oh, yeah. And they can get like 4 inches, which is pretty big. And they're hairy. They kind of got a gray, hairy look to themselves. And we used to have them in the basement all the time growing up. And I used to scare the living daylights out of me. But yeah, wolf spider, black roses. That's what we called it here in Cleveland, Ohio. That my dad would say, "That's a wolf spider, and they ain't gonna kill you. Nothing, just leave it there, And they always taught me, leave the spiders alone. They take care of the other bugs,
Yeah.
So
working in the nursery business, same thing. It's just like, look, they're going to catch all the other bugs that are going to really hurt your plant. So just leave them.
Exactly. I seen a spider about the size of a softball working under the dashboard. That thing moved fast. Oh my God, oh, you're down in Florida, Ed. So yeah, that's right. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. But so it's a little spider. He washes it down. Then it goes back out to continue to type, right? Or is that when she comes to the door?
I had written down groovy kitchen wallpaper.
Okay.
And then there's a knock on the door, and it's Fred Mertz. No, I'm sorry, it's Mr. Boucher.
Mr. Boucher comes. That's right. Yeah.
And he's all, it's a couple of days ago, you asked me to fix your thermostat. I'm here to fix your thermostat. And it was the guy, white shirt, total, like, all we need is a screwdriver.
Eat the super across the way.
Yeah.
But he's actually the owner / janitor, Mr. Boucher. He lives down the hall from him, and yeah, he's coming to fix the thermostat.
And he calls him Sigmund Freud with a screwdriver.
Yes, he does.
Because they start having this conversation, and it was a weird conversation in terms of their positions because they were so close they could have kissed.
Oh,
I mean, that's what I wrote down. They were like right there next to each other, and I'm like,
they were close talkers.
Close commenting.
Yeah, they were close talkers, but no, it was kind of an argument where, again, if you don't understand somebody's phobia or fear, and I guess he had a pretty bad phobia of these spiders, and again, there was the drip, a small spider, then there was another drip where he went in there, and then it was the spider coming up again, and then he went to go get a dish towel that you would dry your hands with. And he rolled it up like he was going to smack it. And then he looked at it, and it was like 3 times bigger. And he still was able to wash that down. But I would have taken a shoe to it or something. I mean, that was too big. But he was really pissed off, and he told Mr. Boucher, listen, I got spiders. If you don't take care of it tonight, I'm going to make sure, or whatever. He wanted an exterminator to take care of it. And Mr. Boucher the whole time is arguing with him. Come on, be a man. It's just a spider. Take care of it yourself, stuff like that. But yeah.
He also tells him something about breaking a sweat. Like, you sit there, you're all fancy in your little house, and your phone and everything like that, and just move your fingers to make your living. How about breaking a sweat once in a while?
Oh my God. Oh, you know what Elizabeth said before she closed the door and went up there too? She says, I hope one day you truly need somebody to love. She says, that's right before she fell in it. So she was still trying to, anyways, I thought that I had to get that in. Anyways, he leaves, and Mr. Boucher leaves. And the drip starts again. That's where, well, no, it's not a drip. He hears what is a hissing sound, like a crying. Yeah, listen, it's a spider the size of a dog in his bedroom. And it looks so fake. It was funny as heck.
It was imagine a beanbag chair with legs.
Yes.
That's what it was. It looked like almost something you would have in a haunted house playset. And it's on the other. He opens the door. It's on the other side of his bed, and it moves out. Yeah. It looks like someone is pulling strings, bringing the spider closer to the door.
Yeah. It just went, and then he closed the door. I just googled wolf spider, dude. That thing has eyes that look. Yep, the eyes were big eyeballs, big legs, lots of gray, bluish gray hair. They're not fun. But this is where he ends up going, oh my God, what do I do? He's not going to take care of it. There's a dog-sized spider in my bedroom. And not even like, asking questions like, what is this? What's going on? Small spider, bigger spider, now one the size of a dog. There's none size of, he's losing his mind or something. So he goes up to Elizabeth's apartment to beg her and sweet talk her, Dave.
Well, at this point, that's when I thought Elizabeth was kind of a witch, because she had that flame on the candle and she blows it out. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, she probably cursed him or did something, conjuring spirits, to where there's this gigantic spider in his bedroom.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I thought witchcraft. She was performing a ritual, but the white candle is for good. And so when you light a white candle and you do in whatever you want, you want love, or technically, if you want love or his affection, you're going to go with a pink or a red candle. But the white candle is for good and for prosperity and for healing, and that's what threw me off guard. But it's a show, so it did look like witchcraft, and I wondered if that's what they were trying to get across in the show, is if she's doing some witchcraft on him to get him up here, and she's making the spider appear. I don't know, because she starts telling him he's psycho. you know Says, I think, yeah, you go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Start it off, Dave.
Before we go there, I wrote down, he comes up and she's all, and what do you want? And he's all, I want to apologize. I was mean. I, said some things that were kind of bad and this and that. And she's all, I don't think so.
I'm a bad boy.
Yeah. And then he goes, well, it's really, I find you attractive. And if there was a woman I would go out with, it would be you, and blah, 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 blah. And then she's all, no, like BS. And then the third.
Which was odd, because this is the weird part. Like, she was so infatuated just a few minutes ago at the door downstairs.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, she's like, nope, I don't think so. You're crazy. This is that. So maybe it was the witchcraft, and she is just trying to get him away, and the spider is part of her plan. They didn't really specify, and you kind of don't. It's up to you to figure that out, I guess.
Yeah. And then the third time he goes back, he goes, look, I have a paralyzing fear of spiders.
Yeah.
And she's all, I will buy that as the truth. And his comment, we need to call the police. There's some type of mutation.
Yeah. Well, that's when she says, she goes, I think maybe you should call the psychiatric hospital, because
at Bellevue.
Yeah, Bellevue. Because if you say there's a spider the size of a dog, you're going to need to be admitted. So, so yeah, I don't know. But I did like how he cozied up to her on the couch when he was trying to, sweet talk her. She goes, what do you want to drink? And he said some brandy, and he was going to go, he was sitting on the chair opposite her, but then he goes, I got to sit next to her. So, I mean, I thought that was so funny. It was just something little.
It was funny, and I really enjoyed the brandy container, and she was ready to serve, because there were a lot of glasses, and I guess you serve brandy in these little sifter glasses, and they were really kind of cool. And it's just in the 1970s. With Columbo, we see a lot of bars and alcohol and all that very much out in the open.
Yeah, there's a song too. Brandy, you are mine, you are mine, you are good. I don't know the words. I need to pull it up. Anyways,
I prefer Amanda by Boston, but that's another story.
Amanda. Yeah, it's a good song too, Dave.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
and he pulls out a cigarette.
Oh yeah, no, he's nervous.
Got Brandy, got cigarette, got Elizabeth. That's all you need for a good evening.
Yeah, not a good sight. It's, and again, these segments are short, and we're coming up to where she goes, okay, I will come down and I will check it out with you. And
it was like his mother.
Yeah.
No, there's no one under the bed. There's no one in the closet. Oops. Okay. Nope, nothing there either.
But then he walks into the bedroom. Well, she does. She walks into the bedroom. She goes, there's nothing here. I don't see nothing.
Well, first it was weird too, because she felt the door to the bedroom and it was locked. And then she's like, here it is. And she opens it.
50s through the 70s. Well, I guess we're going to go back to the beginning of last century, or 1900s, 20s, 30s. But in TV, Hollywood and all that, I mean, 50s, 60s, 70s, they all started to get the small little bar in their home, you know, and even though the big fancier ones would have it back in the 20s, 30s, you know, and 40s, in the 50s, it became a little bit more, it was cheaper to be able to get a little bar, you know, to put in a corner. My grandmother had one. It's just a little bar shelf where you can stand there and you can put 2 bar stools on the other side. It's like putting together a desk or a shelf nowadays. You know what I mean?
My grandparents, toward the end of their lives, they lived in a trailer, just a single wide trailer. And I loved staying with them because, you know, it was a grandson. You get to stay with them, right? And you can do whatever you want. And they had a kind of a living room where the couch would turn into a bed. But during the day, we had to watch my grandmother's programs. God, that was awful. And then you had a hallway where you had a bathroom, but you also had a segment that looked like it could have been a linen closet, but they converted it into a bar. And they had like, it was almost a tiki bar type of thing where they had some lights, all the glasses, the shot glasses, the booze, all sorts of cool things. And then the back area was their bedroom and stuff. But, you know, they had a bar even in a trailer.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
My great grandparents actually had a little cart that they would wheel out.
Yes. Well, there was always that too. Yeah. Hey, Ezra Carter and Hello Soul. Welcome to the channel. And her home is another part of the universe. Well, anyways, we're up to 60. Thank you, Mr. Ed. Please hit that like button if you would. And something must be wrong with YouTube. Numbers keep going up and down, really wacky. But anyways, yeah, so she goes into the bedroom and she says there's nothing there, and she makes him go in, and then she closes the door behind him and locks him in, Dave.
But there's no lock on the door. So I don't know what, I mean, I didn't see her go click or anything like that. It was just she closed it. And allegedly there was a lock, but there was no like real zoom in of like.
Wasn't the camera on the inside when she closed it and you heard the click as the camera was inside?
Maybe that was it.
Yeah, I think so.
It wasn't the common like click that you would see in a regular TV show.
Yeah, it's the sound of a key turning, which maybe that's how they got the actual sound of a key turning, because on the other side you would see that the key was still kind of in the door there. So yeah, it is what it is. But she goes, there's nothing there. And she goes, I will come back and I will get you in the morning. So she's going to lock him in their bedroom all night long, you know? I mean, and then you hear the little pitter patter of the spider coming to get him.
It's not even a little pitter patter with that thing. That thing's huge.
It's coming to get you, Justice. It's coming to get you.
And the entire time he's screaming, let me out of here.
Yeah, and it just ends. So he's dead. Oh, go ahead, Dave.
You hear body fall.
Oh, you do hear the body fall.
At the very end, you hear the body fall, like he is passed out, or he is dead, or he is being eaten by a spider. We don't know because we're not there the next day.
Yeah. No, it was a good segment. It was a good segment.
Her comment, sleep soft, beloved.
Oh.
She starts quoting Elizabeth Barrett Browning.
So would you call that revenge? I mean, I guess he has every right in the world not to like her, you know, but does that give her the right to curse him and kill him? So she's the evil doer, right? I mean, if that's what she did, if she had any hand in the witchcraft or what was going on there, which is what they kind of push you towards believing, right? I mean, am I wrong? I don't know, Dave. That's kind of what I like about some of these.
Maybe
you know,
they're both a certain amount of evil.
Yeah, true.
There's not one that's more superior than the other.
I like that the segments are somewhat open-ended, not for all of them, but they get you thinking, they're thought provoking, and I think that's what Rod Serling really liked about how the show kind of came together here in Night Gallery, especially some of the other ones that I've done already, where there's a little bit of that, futuristic, doomsday scenario where the world is not going the way it should be going, and there's no bright future. But anyways, on to the go ahead, Dave.
Before we do,
Yeah.
the Upper Limits fan says, which one has the upper hand? And it kind of reminded me just back about Seinfeld going, I have hand.
I have hand. I have hand. Oh, you used to have hand, but no more.
That's what I think happened here in this episode.
Yeah.
And hello, John Swan.
Hey, John Swan, what's going on? The upper hand, I think, really went to Elizabeth, because Justice, he just wasn't. Oh my God, I'm hiccuping and everything. What's going on?
And you could say justice was served. You could say she has the upper hand because she lived upstairs. All sorts of cool things we can read into this.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. But let's move on. I think again the episode was pretty good, pretty good. Spider fans, you're not gonna like it, but yeah, it was a pretty good one. The next one is called Junior, and it's only like a 2-minute segment. And I tell you what, that's all we needed, Dave, because I thought it was fun as hell. And it was just
really,
yeah, it was cheesy, stupid. It was stupid. It was funny. And Dave didn't like it. How dare you throw something comical and funny
hated it
in these what you want to be serious segments of Night Gallery.
This is how dumb it is. Our conversation about it is going to be longer than the actual clip.
So true, so true. So Junior, and Wally Cox stars in it. He's the dad, the father.
Yes, and he needs a haircut.
He does need a haircut. And there's Mother, who turns over when the baby's crying. When the crying starts, and says, "It's your son, not mine."
Exactly. And it reminded me a little bit of Newhart.
Okay.
Where you had Bob Newhart and you had Suzanne Plachette laying in bed, and they're each kind of, leaning toward their own sides. And you hear this, and this is what bothered me the most about the episode.
Yeah.
You could tell it was an older woman. So it reminded me, of course, of Psycho, where you start to hear the voice.
David is Psycho. He could find Psycho in everything. Go ahead.
Going, Daddy, I need some water. And it was
and can I say though, when that starts up,
God,
because they're laying in bed and yeah,
do that.
What
did your kids do that more than once?
Dave? Yes, they did call and ask for water, and there were many times, most every time, where I said, the bathroom is right there. Or the kitchen, but the bathroom, they had cups too. You can go and get some water yourself. But they were scared of the dark of the closet, or the lights were out. And even though there was a night light over there, it still was dark. And they didn't want to go from their bed to the bathroom in the darkness. So Dave, it is
did you tell them you don't know what scared is? There was a big guy in front of the bathroom when I was a kid.
They've heard it all. They've heard it all. But it is kind of funny. It is kind of funny. But the funniest part of this segment, which again, the segment's seconds long. It's 2 minutes, 120 seconds. When they're laying in bed, you start hearing the voice, and immediately when you hear the voice, something's wrong. Something's up with the child, or whatever it is, because it's a weird, Daddy, I need water. I need water. Daddy, can you get me water? And it just was no crying, or just, Daddy, I need water. And you're expected to go there, if you've never seen this before, to see some like weird, grotesque type, maybe a half spider, half baby, or something like that.
I wasn't expecting that.
You weren't. I was. I wasn't expecting what we saw,
Nope.
That wasn't expecting that either. But I
Oh,
do love how he sachets. But go ahead. And
I,
he did sachet. Go ahead.
I was going to write down on either side of the bed of the adults, there were
Yeah.
these big lamps, and I put down that they were Brady Bunch lamps.
Okay, the big
So
Brady
just
Bunch.
like
Yeah.
Mike and Carol Brady.
Yes, or like on a lot of the show, Carol Burnett shows would have some of those lamps. Uh, Love American Style. A lot of '70s show had the big. Yes, but good point. Good spot there, Dave, on the lamps. As we love to talk about furniture and rooms, decades of the '70s. Okay.
Give him the big reveal.
Yeah. So Papa, father, he goes in there and he fills up the glass of water. And I wish I could show it. My God, that's what I should have done.
You never want to see that again.
You don't want to see that. He grabs the glass of water. He's bringing it in. He's, okay, here I come. And he grabs a big blue bear doll.
Yeah, on his way. So
On
it's
his
going to
way.
be water and bear.
And he tosses the blue bear in there in the corner of the what looks like an open-ended crib. It's a crib, but the back end where the feet are coming out is broken and open. But he gives the water, and then all of a sudden, the most comical sight you could possibly imagine. As he walks away, the camera goes right to baby, which isn't a baby. It's Frankenstein. And Dave, you gotta admit, it wasn't a bad Frankenstein with the makeup and all that.
I wrote down, quote, "Holy crap, it's Herman Munster."
Well, I mean,
And then, okay,
and he starts to drink the water.
No, he doesn't.
He throws it on his face. Because he's Frankenstein.
He's what? Is he not going to drink the water? Did he need to cool down? Did he have an arm spasm? Is he not perfect? There was more questions that I had about this episode, and I'm just like, my comment at the very end was like, how much did Wally Cox get paid for that cameo? And it was just the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Well, and I thought, wait, what the heck happened? What happened to my pages? I skipped a page. Look at that. I thought it was funny. I got a kick out of it. Dave didn't. So you got
again, it's a full-sized baby Frankenstein.
Oh yeah,
so
it's not a baby.
Like, that's why the crib is kind of falling apart, and it was just.
He must constantly be calling Daddy for water because he's not drinking it, and that's where Daddy needs to teach Frankenstein to either drink out of a straw or sit there and pour it in his mouth, because every time he takes a drink, he's throwing it on his face because he's too dumb, and he throws the glass. But he speaks good. Daddy, I need some water. Again, the voice is probably the freakiest part of the whole segment. It just was weird. It was weird. And we can move on, Dave, from your. Oh, and wolf spiders, Raj, are something over here in the northeastern part of America where they're just really big spiders, and they're not dangerous. They're not venomous or nothing like that. Although if you get bit, I mean, I still don't think that's a good thing. But I mean, yeah, I got a spider bite. Well, it's not venomous, but you still could get an infection, something like that. I don't know. Anyways, see you guys next week. Boy, Dave, that sun is just shining on in.
It is. Well, it's only 5:45 here, which is really 4:45 prior to the time change.
Nice. It looks like you're going to get a suntan on that right side of your face.
I could
you're not
be,
careful.
Although it balances out the suntan I get from driving, which is on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it actually
no need for SPF 100 while you're sitting there at the desk.
Correct.
Okay. Diffused.
And the doors are open, so that's why you have the blind, not the blinds, but the curtains opening and closing.
Oh yeah, I can see that you got a nice breeze coming in. Yeah.
Southern California.
Bo doing good?
She's doing great, thank you. She's actually just outside the window. She was laying down next to me, but then she's all like, "Oh, night gallery." See you later.
She's like, it's dinner time. I'm gonna go catch me some rats. Anyways, okay, so the next segment, marmalade wine. Marmalade wine. And this was a trip. This was kind of trippy. Nightmarish even. It sounds like you didn't care for this one too much.
Well, here's the deal.
Okay.
I don't like Rudy Valley.
So that blew the whole segment for you. Huh?
And that was kind of like, he's kind of a creepy guy. And
yes.
Just but
when he was taking that picture and puckering up like he did, it just was a little disturbing.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
Oh no, it was disturbing.
Okay. Well, I think he's meant to play. He's meant to play. He plays this Dr. Francis Deaking is the name of this guy. Rudy Valley plays. What?
I said hello, JoJo. She's noticing pins are gone.
Pins are gone.
Pins are gone from the cup.
Why are there like 20 pens missing from the cup? Did Dave purge some? Gasp. Hey JoJo, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. Say, no, it's filled to the brim, JoJo. Look at that. No, he crams as many in as he can. That's what she said. What? Anyways,
back to marmalade wine.
Back to marmalade wine. You got two people. You got Robert Morse playing Roger Blacker. What a name, Roger Blacker. And he's in this nightmarish type scene where it's pouring rain. Yeah. It's all black and everything else is white, like the trees, where he goes. It's nightmarish.
It reminded me of a college theater set that we're watching, and it's just, they did good on the set, but it's just not, so this guy,
you got a lot of issues. Yeah,
I do, because it's the entire background is black. You have these really cool trees. They're all dormant, no leaves on them.
Yeah.
You've got a storm that's like, coming down, rain and everything like that.
The details, even when he falls in white sand and water, not mud and water.
Yes.
Good direction. Yeah. Good direction.
And he's yelling for help.
Help! Somebody help me!
Is there anyone out there? And then he's answered by thunder, right? And lightning and stuff like that.
And then up in the sky, like Jesus is
about the third time he yells.
Dr. Francis Deaking.
I thought it was going to be St. Peter. I thought we were going to find that this guy had died and he was just finding along his way to heaven.
He says, "Yes, my son. What may I help you with?"
That's it. He's all, wait there. I'll be right down.
He'll be right down. I would have loved him to float down, but he did walk down. Yeah. And there's a quick exchange and he says, come, my son. I don't know if that's what he said. Is that what he said? But he says, come. He's Robert Blacker, I guess he's got a camera around his neck. And from what they said is he just came back from hunting lions. So, I mean, it was very odd. Listen, the whole segment seemed like a nightmare in black and white, but not. It was in color, but the set design made it that way. And even when Dr. Deaking, Rudy Valley, Dave's favorite actor from the days, he started to walk him up these cement pillars, like stairway that went up, almost like Dante's Inferno. Like
black. There were a lot of steps. They were all made out of marble. There was like some Spanish moss on the end, and like halfway through, the guy falls, and Rudy Valley picks him up. We're almost there, and they keep walking, and finally, they're up in heaven. And
is that where it is? I'm confused. I don't know.
But it's like you got a doorway
type thing.
It's like a fake theater set from college
where with a couple tables. What would you call
you got a bistro set, you got trellises behind you.
Yes.
You've got maybe a couple vines growing on them as well.
a
And then you've
doorway
got
to
like
his house.
almost a mausoleum type of door
Yeah.
that leads into like who knows where. I thought he was just going to say, "Hey, look, we're going to judge your life here, and if
Yeah.
you're good enough, you're going to get to go to heaven." But that doesn't happen. Instead, you know, it's like the guy couldn't even answer questions. It's like, "And what do you do for a living?" "Oh, well, photographer." "Well, take my picture." Sure.
Well, didn't he ask? There's another funny thing, real quick, and we'll get back to that. You can
All
start
right.
talking about that, but because yeah, that's the weirdness part there. And real quick, Edward's talking about track and field. Indoor season just ended. My son's got a patellar tendon. I know a couple people who like hearing what my son is doing right now. He's a junior in high school, and he does track and field, and he's indoor season. He made his he's dealing with a patellar tendonitis, and he still got through the indoor season pole vaulting, and he gained 2 feet this year. He's a junior, made it to 14 feet. He's literally a few inches away from. He's jumped the record in practice like 5 times. So the outdoor season just started, and I'm hoping and keep my fingers crossed that his leg is on the way to no more pain, because he should get the record this year, and long jump and hurdles is something he should be doing. So I'm very proud. Thought I'd throw that out there. I know, Edward, you like to hear that a lot. You ran track when you were in school too. So but the funny part was when they were both telling what they do, and he said a photographer, and then he knew he was Dr. Deaking. He says something, Rudy Valley, Dr. Francis Deaking. He goes, I forget what Roger said, but he goes back, the doctor, he goes, "Yes, thank God for silicone." That's the way he said it, silicone.
Well, he was also talking about
Silicone,
Roger
silicone
had
breast
said, "Oh,
implants.
you had just operated on such and such an actress."
Yes.
And that's when he says, "Oh, yes, thank
I
God
don't
for this."
practice anymore either.
Yeah.
So he must have butchered people. And for some reason, and the whole time, Roger was sitting there trying to figure out, and thank you, Edward, and everybody. He's trying to figure out what I can't remember what happened to this Dr. Deaking. For some reason, I can't remember, but something happened. But yeah, when he said silly cone, I just laughed. And you got to know what Dave's talking about, Rudy Valley, because the next thing, like you said, take it away. He asked for a picture with the most disturbing look on his face. Oh.
Yeah, he does. He says like, "Well, what do you do?" And he's like kind of points to to the camera, and he's all, "Oh yeah, well, I'm a photographer." And the guy doesn't really know how to use the camera, and he's all, "Why don't you move that little switch there? That should help you. Would you like to take my picture?" You know? And the guy goes, "Oh yeah, that would be great." And the guy kind of puckers up and looks to the right, and it was just really creepy.
He looks up and puckers like with this like weird, strange. I'll just leave it there.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
man puckering up that way just sounded. I mean, looked very, very odd.
It
I
was
don't
as
want him
odd
in
as
my.
it sounds.
Yeah. Anyways, then they start getting into
Well, he
black.
also says, "I also foretell the future."
Yes, he's a fortune teller. He can see the future. He predicts things, and I don't know why, but he says that. But all of a sudden, he starts predicting things, and what did he predict, Dave? He
The
predicted a
first thing he
horse.
predicted was a horse race,
Yeah,
and he's all like, "Okay, who's going to be the winning
Bo
horse?"
Bells was the horse. Bo Bells will be winning at the trifecta at the Derby Downs. What? Yeah, I don't know, Dave. Go ahead.
And then he, goes and says, "Hold on, I'm going to go place a bet." And he goes and places the bet, and he wins big on the horse. And he's all, "What else? What else do you know?"
Yeah, who's going to win? The Democrats or the Republican Party? He goes, and he goes by how many members, and he gets it all. And
Yeah, by 1,138 votes, the
so,
Republicans going to win in a
yeah,
surprise at this like local contest.
Yeah.
And
meanwhile, in my mind, you're still watching the segment going, what is going on? Where is this?
You're totally lost throughout the segment. You
Yeah,
don't know where it's going.
Or where they are. You don't know if they're in heaven, hell. Well, they're not in heaven, but you don't know if they're in hell or limbo or some nightmarish dreams. Who knows? They don't tell you. But
I just kept thinking that Roger needed to go see the dentist.
Why is that?
Because
in bed, I remember. Okay, yeah, I got you. So, and this is the coolest part. If you're a horror fan, I don't know, this gets pretty dark. I don't know. He's like, am I wrong? He's laying in bed like that?
I was just reading Dino.B.
Oh, we guessed the pens in the mug. Next, we'll guess the combination of Dave's safe that's behind him. That's not a safe. That's his radio.
It's a radio.
Is safe.
You can guess the dial it's on.
Yeah, say J.O.B. He used to be a safe cracker. Yeah, they called me Beans. Yeah, say. Yeah, they called me Beans. Yeah, I'd get pennies on the dollar. Yeah. Anyways, listen. What the J.O.B. There could be a safe behind a picture in that room somewhere, but I don't know. Any good library office will have a picture with a safe behind it. In me and Dave's mind, anyway. Is that a safe for a radio? Yes. Okay. Anyways, so the next thing he's drunk. He passes out. Blacker.
Yeah, he loves the marmalade wine, and he gets like another glass, and then he starts getting a little silly, and the guy's all like, all of a sudden, cutscene, and then we're in the bedroom.
Yes.
Which is even creepier because all you have is a bed.
Where the girls like in the bedroom.
And
or the guys. Equal opportunity.
Yeah. So he wakes up. Oh, I got a headache. And the boots on my feet hurt. And all.
Yeah, he's like, for some reason, my boots on my feet hurt. Oh, my head. And, oh, my God, what's going on? And I have to tell you, I was just making that stuff up because Deaking comes in and says, you were right on everything. And which is another weird thing.
Yeah, and the guy's all, there's no way I could be right on everything. And Rudy Valley's all like, no, man. He goes, I'm going to go get this charts for the stock market. And I need you to tell me what's going on, with what's going to happen in the market. And the guy's all, no, I'm just making it all up. I just had nothing to say to you last night. And, I was having a good time.
Yeah, again, he's not really a fortune teller, but for some reason in the segment, this is what he keeps blurting these things out. And yeah, he starts telling them what stocks are going to be and everything else. And before you know it, he comes running back in, Deeker, saying no, let's get this right. Because it's a good ending to this horror scene. He finally remembers that he wasn't a doctor, but Dr. Deakin comes in and looks at him, says everything's right, and he goes, no need, you'll be staying here for a while. I've amputated your feet. And then immediately starts to feed him like oatmeal, and he's going to be trapped in that bed forever. Hell? Maybe, I don't know.
It was the way he was feeding him oatmeal, shoving it in there.
Like a nursing home, yeah.
Like a nursing home. It was that Kathy Bates thing where I thought we were going to move the blanket and he was going to be chained down, and he was there against his will, but no, he amputated his feet. And, the idea is that the guy remembers that, oh yeah, I remember this guy had gone crazy. That's what I read about him in the newspapers.
J.O.B. thinks he knows it all. Yeah. My safe isn't, well, I don't got a safe, but anyways. What would have made this so cool, Dave, is if they would have pulled back the covers and showed like no feet.
That would have been fantastic.
I would have loved for them to do that. It would just been the topping. on the cake.
It would have been like the episode of Wild Wild West we saw last week,
Oh, which was fantastic.
where it was Stump and
Stump. Leslie Nielsen hitting people with a stump. Hey, Night Fright, what's going on? Good to see you. Oh, belching again. Yeah, you get a lot of belches here on this show.
Be a fresh ginger ale.
They all are. I mean, I keep the carbon content in there, Okay. Pardon me, Dave. Anyways, so we're at the top of the hour. I say
I'll think about it.
I say we go and look at how many thumbs up as Dave takes and tells us what we got on the agenda. We are at 68 thumbs up.
All right.
Which is not
next week.
Oh, go ahead.
We have Scooby-Doo.
Zoinks, the podcast.
Woo! Episodes 5 and 6. I cannot wait. I am so excited.
Wait, you see a car on Dino's desk? Okay, yeah. Oh, this was a gift from JoJo.
Oh, nice.
It's the Playmobil. Well, amongst two others. She got me a couple Playmobil sets that are really cool, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much, JoJo. The James Bond one, the 007. This is going to be put together and go under light in a case to display because that's how I am, and I'm a big James Bond fan. But there you go. Hey, Gigi. Hello, Dino and Dave. Hopefully everything is good for you.
Hi, Gigi.
Hey, Gigi.
I was thinking the other day about you and your James Bond enjoyment because I was listening to a podcast on With Russia from Love, and they were arguing that it was the best James Bond movie.
Listen, when it comes to when it comes to the older James Bond,
yes,
it's up in the air, Dave. I mean, people got their favorites. Like it could be Lazenby, it could be Roger Moore, it could be Sean Connery. For me, it's Sean Connery. It was the era, those late 60s there, that just really got it for me. And Sean Connery was just, I am not his sugar mama. What the heck? Who said sugar mama? What? JoJo.
Oh, God, that was good.
You're not my mama, that's for sure. You might be sugar. Anyways, you might be sugar. So there are so many good James Bond films, Dave, that you could be a Daniel Craig fan, and one of the newer ones are your favorite.
Sure. Yeah. Spectre was fantastic.
Yeah. But I'd have to sit back and think, and I could rank them, but there would be some Sean Connery ones that would be my favorite. From Russia with Love is a great one. I mean, so there's nothing negative I could say about that. Whoever said that was their favorite. So, but I'm an old school type. I really do dig the older ones better. So,
all right. Back to the Future episodes. After Scooby-Doo, we're going to be doing
Back to the Future episodes.
Back to the Future episodes. We're going to be doing.
I thought you meant Back to the Future. I'm like, we're not doing it.
X-Files Season 1, Episode 2, Deep Throat. I cannot wait to talk about this.
Oh, the X-Files. Oh.
Yeah, that's on our other channel.
I watched the wrong movie. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I cannot wait for that. That is going to be fun.
Yeah. And
Nathan Tiberius, what's going on? Good to see you.
Who?
Nathan Tiberius.
Nathan Tiberius.
He's favorite Daniel Craig.
And then April 13th, if everything goes on track,
we
have Circle of Fear, the pilot episode of that.
Yeah.
And that is our 100th episode together.
Wow, 100 episodes. And you can find them all in a playlist right on the page. So, yes. 100. Early congratulations. No, let's save it for then.
Yeah.
I'll bring cake.
Don't piss me off.
It'll be a bad episode. No, it depends how Circle of Fear goes. I mean,
We can always talk food.
We can always talk food. No. Listen, Circle of Fear, aka Ghost Story, was the original given title. Then they went to Circle of Fear, but it's in the lines of all this stuff like Night Gallery and Kolchak and that era of them trying to get these kind of horror shows out. And from what I've seen, and I've seen maybe 4 episodes of Circle of Fear, and they've all been fantastic. So
Yeah, I've only seen the one with Hal Linden.
Yeah, and that was a good one. That was a good
Great.
one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How many
Casino
thumbs up
Royale.
do we have, Dino?
Let's see if it went up.
See if we have to work hard on the last 25 minutes.
What happened there? Okay. Okay. So as I said, 68. Did we go up any? We got 3. We're at 72. Thank you, people. Thank you. We love you all. Thank you very much for showing up every Sunday, even if you're showing up here late to rewatch and re-listen. And I would say the nights I don't stream. Sorry, Dave. I know you're right in the middle of the throwing something out there, wordage. The nights I don't stream, please go back and check out what I'd done during the week and past shows and stuff like that, because there's gems in there. Go ahead, Dave.
And it's not just the people who watch now, because there's a lot of people like Bubba who works on Sundays usually and can't watch this until later in the week. Right. I rewatch a lot of our old episodes. Yeah. I love all the Art Bell stuff we do. We've done the entire series of Kolchak. We've done 10 episodes of Wild Wild West.
So much. Columbo.
That we talk about, a few guests in the past, things like that. We've got a guest coming up in the future. There's all just sorts of wonderful things we're going to be, that we have talked about and that we are going to talk about. We have, 150 hours streaming together of material that you can enjoy.
Well, there's 10 years of content on the channel. I mean, and then not to mention the old time radio stuff. Like I said, everything is up here. And if you like how radio used to be, where you were surprised at what comes on and stuff, that's kind of why I went that way. I've done all the timestamps on past shows of all your favorites, like Whistler, CBS Radio, you name it. Once I got to a point, I had to change my direction. And so I can't keep, hey, I'm going to put the Whistler and the timestamps up again. I mean, they're already there. So these kind of surprise kind of what's coming up next, I give you a working title and you kind of know what the theme is. So, that's kind of fun. But yeah, Dave, I love going back and watching our old shows. I pause when I'm talking, I pause so many times. I mean, it's a delight to rewatch. Okay, so last segment of this Night Gallery episode, the Academy. Something near and dear to Dave's heart.
It is. I love this episode the most out of all 4. It was my top episode.
And why is that?
Because it reminded me of The Prisoner.
Shut up.
I am 100% serious.
But you don't like The Prisoner.
Well, that's another story. But this is a prisoner that only lasted 20 minutes. And it was fantastic because as soon as you start to see the school, I'm like, that's got to be Southern California.
Yeah.
It's got the right plants. It's got the right weather. And I looked it up, and sure enough, it is a private school about an hour from me. I looked through some pictures online, and you can still have, they still have the walkways that are shown in this episode. And I can't wait to go there and maybe take a selfie at this location.
Yeah, that would be cool. So Dave knows the area. And it's somewhat dystopian in feel and nature.
100%.
Clockwork Orange-ish kind of, a little bit. It's weird. It's okay. It's about the academy. It's about a military school.
Academy for kids. It's going to put them on the right track in life. It's going to be great. And the weird thing about this episode,
thank you, Gigi,
is that there's a statue out in front of the school.
Yeah.
And it's this guy, and he's got his arm around this little young cadet. And they're both kind of waving with the other hand, but it's not facing outward where people would see it.
Yeah.
It's moved, and it's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's facing toward the school. And I thought maybe something, if well, if they turn it, maybe something will happen. No, it doesn't. It's something iconic about, reflecting back on the academy.
Yeah.
But we see, and
Well, he said it's usually it's pointing outwards as, a student graduates, he's off to the world to leave the world, but this is turned inwards. And once we get through the story, you'll know why they're welcoming the student in, but they're not really welcoming them out. So, hey, Chris W is here. What's going on, Chris W?
Hey, Chris W.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Dino and Dave.
I don't think you turned your clock forward.
Right. You're a little late, Come on, Chris. No. There's a lot of construction underhand with the Dino Brookhaven, so stay tuned for the future. It became too overcrowded, and I'm working on that. So and Rajram did say, and we got time here real quick. Mel's Hole, I would lean more towards urban legend. I don't. There's a debate on that. Listen, I think Dave believes it's true. It's 50-50. It's 50-50. But anyways, we've talked about that to death on our Paranormal Into the Night shows. So there you go. And Gigi, $10.
Number 3.
Yes. Super chat, $10 super chat from Gigi. Thank you very much, Gigi. I really appreciate that. Let me give a big old heart. Look at that. And there's like 8 people that liked it too. So much love to each and every one of you. That is awesome. I could put a goal up at the during the start of the show. Maybe I'm going to do that next time. Give a goal if we reach it. It might be fun. I don't know. It we'll do something wacky one week.
I'd like to do a telethon with you.
That would be fun.
We could do like a 12-hour, let's just shoot the heck, and whatever we talk about for 12 hours is great.
Would you really do that, Dave?
We could do an Art Bell commuting podcast.
Listen, are you joking, or would you really do something like that?
I would do it.
Then we're going to do it.
All right.
We'll put the plans in motion. We are going to. I've forever wanted to do something like that. That will be awesome. No, let's do it. We'll put that together. So look forward to that in the near future. Summertime. Yeah.
Job.
We'll do that. Yeah. No, yeah. Dave needs some rest.
Did you see and I'm sorry, do we want to get back to the episode?
Go ahead real quick.
One of the questions I had about the episode is they kept focusing early on the title as you go up the staircase.
Yeah.
Glinda Luge.
Yeah, the name of the place. I have no idea. I didn't see any significance for that at all. So I have no idea. Yeah. Oh, we're going to need food and everything. Yeah. During that.
Breaks. So.
Yeah. So there'll be some.
Microphone.
Yeah. I don't mind eating in front of you guys. You do a little ASMR. I mean, I don't know, but we'll see. Oh yeah, plenty of bills. Okay, so getting back to it. So Pat Boone arrives. He's
in a limo.
He's a rich dad with a son who is, we find out, is troubled. Yeah. But Pat Boone is Holston.
Yes.
And he's there to see the director of this military academy, supposedly military academy, I guess. I don't know what it is. It's some weird dystopian type thing, but we'll call it a military academy for right now. And he's going to see the director, Dave.
He shows up there. He sees the troops like in order being yelled at. There's people like, sergeants and everything, keeping everyone in line. And he makes his way into a building. Again, I wrote down great mid-century modern buildings. Beautiful, stunning. I would love to go there. Not there particularly, but in that type of a building. And he's all, will you please sign the guest book? And the guy goes, yeah, I'll sign in. He goes, we already know who you are. We're just doing this as formality. He goes in and sees the director or the sergeant or whoever. And the guy's having lunch. And he's all, oh, come join me. Have a sandwich and some milk.
Oh man, yeah, it was a little odd from the start,
and it's all about, they come in and the parents are interviewed first. The kids aren't allowed to show up there. It's just like, it's the parents who are there
for a reason.
Well, maybe. And they're all like, yeah, the kids aren't even allowed to go home for the first year.
No home visits for the first year.
No, nothing like that.
But we find out right away though that that they're not there during this interview, because the kid would immediately say, no, I'm not going there, and then a big fight ensues and everything else. But
sure. But he's also a single guy. He's all, we already know your wife's not going to be here. She's dead. We've already researched you.
Yep. And evidently what has happened, and I guess this plays a part in it because he is a troubled kid. He's got issues and stuff like that. But supposedly, when he was like 12 or something like that, he was in a rowboat with his mom, and the rowboat somehow collapsed.
Capsized.
Yeah, it wouldn't collapse. It would capsize. Yeah, you correct, Dave. That's why you're here. It capsized and the mother drowned, but the son was strong enough to swim back to shore.
Strong swimmer.
So I think they thought there was something going on there.
I didn't get that at first, but then it was just like, oh, maybe he killed the mom.
Yeah. And that's why he's made it to this place. So
Eastland Burkholder, hello.
Eastland Burkholder. Snacks, drinks, pets also on the bed. Y'all good. There you go. Perfect. And anything goes marathon, have pizza delivered broadcast.
And I agree with Chris W. There's nothing that beats a good sandwich.
Well, yeah.
Because I'll tell you, I'm so upset.
Mine's got to be moist. I'm just saying.
I am so upset at
nothing I hate more than a dry sandwich. Dave,
I can think of one thing. But my deli that doesn't live, it's just down the street, is horrible now.
Your deli lives.
This is a deli where I used to get, one of those great deli sandwiches.
You want a fish sandwich? You want some white fish?
And like now it's like everything's $15, and it's just like, is there any meat on the sandwich? And then like I order a pastrami, and it's like comes with like shaved lettuce and all this stuff. I'm like, no, pastrami is pickles, it's mustard, and it's pastrami. And then these guys are like a thin layer pastrami. I'm like, no, it's got to be heaping pastrami.
Yeah.
And the same thing. It's like you get a submarine sandwich. Oh, sorry, we don't have the rounded rolls anymore. Like, what the hell are you?
Or even the mom and pop type establishments have gone commercial to where they get bulk this and that. There used to be a day, and listen, we all say, we get to a point to where, listen, I remember back in the day where things were made homemade, and there was a bakery that my grandfather would walk us to all the time. They made their own bread for the sandwiches. And then what gets me, Dave, is the sauces they put on the sandwiches. Never enough.
I agree.
You make let's say it's a foot long, or it's a 7-inch, and there's like, I'm like going, how is that going to make the flavor of my sandwich?
It isn't.
Yeah. You got to always sit. I always sit there and go, more, just a little bit more. Thank you very much. Yes.
There was one place I remember that would actually give you an extra side of the dressing or sauce.
Yeah.
And you could even dip at that point.
Okay, so let's end this one and then we can continue talking or whatever. But
all right. So the wife has died in a boating accident. And we find out maybe the son did it. We take a tour of the facilities, and then we run into our old friend, Larry Linda.
Take a tour of the facilities. You mean the bathrooms? All the urinals, perfectly clean. In the meantime, everything that's going on in this military academy or whatever. Like there's a guy outside drilling all these students, like putting them through the grinder, and you
Oh, yeah.
hear it nonstop every time. Yeah, so this is very strict. It's almost like Clockwork Orange, where I think they sit them back and they tie them up and keep their eyes open and until they know. Anyways,
Well, when they interview Larry Linville as one of the cadets, which is really weird because the guy's older. I mean, the guy's hair is thinning, right? And as the dad is interviewing him, going, "Oh, do you like it here? Have you learned things like that?" The general is walking around making sure all the beds are straight, and he's going to the lockers, making sure all the locker doors are closed, just things like that.
Yeah, well, and in the meantime, he's asking everybody. Oh my God, Northern California has wine snobs. Southern Cali has sandwich snobs. I'm from Santa Barbara. Personally. I know a good sandwich. Yeah, okay. Anyways, I'm a sandwich snob. If they don't make it right, it's going back. I've thrown a bunch of sandwiches on the back of their walls. Said, take this. Next time, put enough sauce on it. I even rubbed it in the face of somebody. Like they said, no, we made it perfect. This is how we make it. You want me to show you the ingredients? And I went like this and I rubbed it in their face and then I pushed them back. And the cops came and I ran. That didn't happen, people. I'm just joking. Anyways.
So how long do students stay here?
A sandwich. We got a sandwich. How long do students stay here? You're getting right to the end. You're like, okay, so he's asking questions and all that, and because he finds out that there's people 30 years old, 50 years old.
Well, the thing is, with Larry Linville's character, he's all, I know that name. Oh yeah, he had done something like whatever, bombed a church, and he's all, but he did that like 20 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Years ago. He goes, he would be 30, and he looked 30. Yeah. And so he's all like, well, how long do these students stay here? And the guy looks at him and goes,
indefinitely.
Oh, I thought that was so good. I'm like, oh, this is good.
It was good.
And I'm like, that is the prisoner. So then he walks to the gatekeeper, and because he's going to get in his limo. He's all, gatekeeper, do you enjoy your job here? And the guy's all, what job? I'm one of the cadets.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I came here when I was 15. I'm 55 now.
So nobody ever leaves this place. And the whole time, Pat Boone Holston, he's being confronted. So do you want your child to be here? And I think he's at a point to where he's like, yes, I will be bringing him tomorrow. He will be.
That was wild because he talks to the limo driver.
Yeah.
Like, tomorrow you can drop my kid off here. Because normally as an adult, like, we would go, we're not going to drop our kids off here. Hell no. We're going to get gone, boom, 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 boom. We're going to run away. But he's all like, I know this kid killed my wife and this is where I'm going to leave him.
Yeah. Well, he's a bad seed. He's just a terrible seed.
He's Damien.
Yeah. So he's going to be there the rest of his life. It's like a permanent jail, really. I mean, it was a very
cool hotel. You check in and you don't check out.
Very, very cool. Very cool segment. I thought all four were good in their own ways. Dave didn't care for Junior. I don't think Dave cared for the marmalade wine either.
I thought it was interesting. I didn't know how to take it because again,
next time just put a sheet of paper up on the side that Rudy Valley's acting in.
Could be, or just a little, drape a towel over the computer.
Well, wear your glasses, but have something to block. Cover a little shade, make a little shade. Close your shade. Yeah, I'm going to make shade and blind for glasses. Little shades and blinds for glasses. Is the sun hitting your glasses too hard on the right side? Pull down the shade. Right?
Why don't we have shades that will automatically fade into sunglasses
Listen, I want to do it the old-fashioned way. Listen, I know we're in the tech, this whole age now where our glasses should be able to just darken itself. Let's move on, Dave.
All right.
I can't wait for the
Did we
marathon.
finish the episode?
Yeah, he gets
The limo driver's going to drive the kid out tomorrow. End of story.
That's it. Yeah, so it's over. We're done. Let's see. That is such a great movie. I love Soylent Green, cannibalism at its finest. Soylent Green is really, really good. Good old Chuck Heston. What?
You did your really good.
You did really good. Soylent Green is made out of people. Soylent Green is people. Hey, Radman, what's going on? Good to see you. So yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. Gonna be fun.
Yeah, and our little 12-hour stint. I think that would be. I can't wait. That'll be fantastic.
I think I overused my left hand today. It's really hurting. I'm picking stuff up, moving things around. What is wrong with you? Rated R. This parental discretion advised on our episodes.
This one's not going to go up on YouTube. Or I'm sorry, on the podcast. All right, what is that?
No, yeah, iTunes.
Apple. Yeah, iTunes. Yeah. With that little warning on it.
Apple don't care what you put up there. Anyways, bring back the optogram.
And please add more of our Kolchaks to the.
Yes, I will get the rest of them up there. I'm sorry. Lots of blinds and glasses. I think that would be great. A shade would be even better because imagine you going back. Well, with an alarm on it, if you fall asleep with your glasses and you accidentally fall asleep with your glasses on and you tip back, the blinds can go up and go and wake you up. Okay, Dave's he's not entertained whatsoever. He's like, this is so dull. Let's get out of here. Okay, so next week, Dave, it's Zoinks, the podcast.
Episodes 5 and 6 of Scooby-Doo, the original series.
Scooby-Doo. So there you are. Yeah, nothing more to say. Just get the heck out of here, right?
Please.